Mr. Speaker, I just noticed that moments ago another person was removed from the gallery for wearing a sign. And I have to say, in my opinion, the First Amendment is pretty absolute. The right to petition the government is a freedom that's guaranteed by our First Amendment. And I'm deeply troubled when I see people being removed from the gallery for not speaking, but merely wearing a sign. Those are First Amendment rights that are absolute. They are absolute in a context of petitioning the government, and I strongly object to people being removed from the gallery because they are wearing items that express political opinion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Gentlelady from the 76th.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I sit in the front, so I can't always see what's going on in the gallery, but from what I have seen, none of us know anything's going on, similar to the camera incident where nobody really knew what was happening until there's an arrest and the people are removed, and then there's disruption. So let's think about this. I mean, it's one thing if they are disrupting procedures. It's another if they're sitting there and we don't even know what's going on. And yes, I agree with the gentleman from the Milwaukee 12th District on First Amendment rights because they're pinning these to their T-shirts. We've seen many T-shirts in the Capitol with many different things on that one party or the other doesn't necessarily agree with. But they're sitting there quietly. But when I did look up there, another thing that I want to comment, do we need 10 officers at taxpayer expense up there to deal with people who are quietly sitting there with something in their lap or pinned to their T-shirt? Well, and I see people saying yes. And I don't know if you live in fear and you really think that these people are going to do something to you. When I see your heads nodding, yes, we need 10 officers. What kind of world do you think you live in? And that's in your head. And I'm sorry it doesn't bother you and that you live in such fear. But I agree with the gentleman from the 12th. They have a right to express themselves. They're doing it quietly, and 99% of us in this room don't even know they're doing it.
I have this shirt that I made, and I didn't quite finish putting it together, but this is sewn on here. I was asked by the blonde staffer to remove my signs, and I told her I didn't have any signs. And so she asked if this was taped on, and I said, no, it's sewn on. So anyway, the blonde staffer asked me to remove my signs, and I said I'd have to remove my shirt in order to do that. Sergeant at Arms. Anyway, so she didn't like the idea of my taking my shirt off in the Assembly Gallery, and frankly, I wouldn't have liked that idea either. And the only difference is here, I have thread that is, I sewed this onto my shirt, and so what saved me from arrest today is about a yard of thread because this is sewn on.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, I know it's a light agenda and people thought today was going to go quickly, so did we. But you know, I have to make the point, this has gotten to a point of ridiculousness. On Monday, we had a college universities committee. We had people completely silently, just with an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper on their chest, which is about the size of an imprint on a T-shirt. I print T-shirts, I can tell you that. We wouldn't kick someone out for having a T-shirt, but we're kicking someone out for having a piece of paper the size of a T-shirt buttoned to their T-shirt. This is a little bit ridiculous. And at a time that we're lapsing as much money as we're lapsing and making the university come up with 37% of it, and the governor's office is coming up with $1,700 of that lapse, having the amount of law enforcement we have here doesn't make a lot of sense. And taking away people's right to free speech doesn't make a lot of sense. And now that we're doing it at the committee level as well, you know, I think finally enough of us on this side have been very upset about it. We wanted to say something. So I would hope that we could respect people's freedom of speech. I hope we could respect what really would make this body a little more sane instead of worrying about someone with an 8.5, 11 sheet of paper taped to their chest. And we don't want to prolong it, but we do hope that next time we're in session, maybe we can have a different approach, Mr. Speaker, might help to make things a little more smoothly. Thank you.